Hi everyone, my name is Naitiemu. I'm a material artist, performance artist, and an artistic director. As a material artist, I find myself intrigued with the way materials behave and the patterns they go through, especially because I find a connection with human psychology. I love to create with anything: waste materials, hydrochloric acid, candle wax, canvas, paper, 3D printing, woodcut printing, photography, videos, illustrations, sculptures. I find myself always creating with whatever material is available. What drives me is the excitement of learning and indulging in new things, because I find every material is special in its own unique way. As a performance artist, I express my notions through the rhythm of the body, making every movement carry with it an ephemeral emotion, one that can only be experienced at that particular moment by the viewer. This allows me to explore contemporary issues such as mental health awareness in unconventional ways. As an artistic director, I like merging unique concepts made up of different components that would normally be separated. I'm currently working with artists across various genres to create impactful works. We recently released the labeled Human song and music video, which involved over 50 creatives. That was very mind-opening. The Flower of Life series was created to show the connections we humans have with the ecosystem and our contribution to this energy. The natural ecosystem has it that every ending brings forth a beginning, and every beginning brings forth an ending. And this goes on and on, creating cycles that birth new forms, which ensure infinite continuity. It is through such cycles that we, the human species, came to be. Our role, I believe, was to keep the ecosystem balanced through the cycles of energy we create and propagate. The fact that the ecosystem's components are linked has a crucial ramification. Disturbance to one component leaves an impact on all other components of the ecosystem to varying degrees. Human activities have increasingly led to the imbalance of the ecosystem. Activities such as deforestation, emission of vehicle exhaust fumes, dumping of non-biodegradable waste onto the ground and in water bodies, exhaust from factories and industries, agricultural activities that involves use of chemicals such as insecticides and pesticides, among other activities. This has led to the degradation of the Earth's natural balance, leading to global warming. And as a result, we are plagued with the burden of disease, affecting not only us, but also other animals, plants, and microorganisms. And now the challenge is for us to try and bring back balance into the ecosystem. These pieces were created through various processes and techniques. Some involve the traditional woodcut printing that helped to create the flower of life pattern background. I also played around with modern techniques such as 3D printing. I 3D printed the flower of life stencil, which then created the beautiful geometric shapes that are found all over the pieces. This pattern symbolizes the cycle of creation and reminds us of the unity of everything. We are all from the same blueprint, hence, we all must take care of each other. The collage pieces are layers of cutouts from magazines, placed to create an illusion of forms. I'd earlier collected these magazines from my neighbor's leftover trash when she moved houses. This was my way of ensuring a continuation of life from one form to another. In that this was once a bunch of magazines, mostly selling consumerism messages seen by the many perfumes and lipstick sales, highlights of posh lifestyles and celebrities. She probably enjoyed reading or collecting them until there were a pile of them that lost meaning. She must have been relieved to leave them behind. Likewise, we as humans tend to leave our junk behind, not really caring about how our actions affect the next generation. Turning these magazines into new pieces of art, but this time communicating a different language was my intention. How do I transform all these temporal messages into something more permanent and meaningful? I also included ink and coffee stains. The coffee stains was an add to not only the natural brown color, but also the feeling of coming from the earth. The surface used is a filter paper. Hence, discovering this new material by accident, which actually was piled at home and had not been used for the last so many years, they've been lying at home, not being used. This brought excitement to me. The use of its semi-permeable properties in a way that is ideally not meant for it brought a playfulness to this piece, to these pieces, and a new life. I hope it still carries its coffee smells behind glass. I was inspired to create these pieces by the concepts of life. For instance, in the piece called Space, I tried to explore the laws of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics states that the total entropy of an isolated system can never decrease over time and is constant. That's if all processes are reversible. Let's assume that the universe is a closed system. Therefore, entropy within it will always increase. And this means that she can only evolve towards disorder. So, how do we find order in chaos? I use the graph paper here to bring about order. I recall how necessary the graph paper was as a tool in statistics and scientific experiments for precise drawings and as visual analysis of collected data back when I was studying civil engineering. The orderly squares condense knowledge into simple, neatly summarized information, which is a complete contrast to our daily chaotic lives. I also talk about topics such as consumerism in this series. For instance, when we examine habitual fallacy piece, habitual fallacy aims to question our incessant accumulation of material object. This is presented metaphorically by portraying a scene from the Garden of Eden. That's from the Genesis creation story, where we see Eve being tempted by the serpent to have just a bite of the forbidden fruit. This is a direct reflection of our modern day lives. We always want a bit more of everything. When do we ever get enough of these material goods?
mistakes, capable of change. Tunasonga mbele, tunaenda wote, tunasonga mbele, tunasonga mbele. At the end of the day, we'll just live with human. Learn from our mistakes.
Thank you. For more about my work, please check out my website www.naitiemu.com and all my social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube at Naitiemu. Thank you and stay safe.
Capable of change. At the end of the day, we'll just live with human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. Tunasonga mbele.
A label Nina Saka, or do I call my name Nina Chase? Easy answers. And will I take the name I was say Wanataja? Waki call the name of this guy baking stanzas. Something they do freely cause labels are free, but labels ain't deep enough to be who you be. So ataka waitika, majina wanaita. You don't need the label to be, we're all human.
Fighter, ginger, genetic, deep, renegade, never been afraid. Dragonfire my breath, melt away the fears, dies away the fearful, rises off the spear. A symbol for hope, don't despair, rise your head up high to the skyward gaze and follow in the light of a star as I shine this path, labeled human.
At the end of the day, we'll just live with human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. At the end of the day, we'll just live with human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. Tunasonga mbele, tunaenda wote, tunasonga mbele, tunasonga mbele. At the end of the day, we'll just live with human. Learn from our mistakes, capable of change. We'll just live with human. Capable of change. Tunasonga mbele.